Hello everyone, hope you're all doing great. So I'm Saranya and in this video we're going to start our interview preparation. So let's solve this simple LeetCode problem which is marked as easy. Okay, so the problem is that here we have a table called person. In that person table we have person ID, last name and first name. So in the table we have three columns out of which person ID is the primary key column. So what does a primary key mean? That particular column has no duplicates, which means it has only unique values and also no null values. Okay, so the column has no null values and no duplicate values. So this person ID is the primary key for this table, and a table can have one primary key. Okay, so this table contains information about ID of some persons and their first and last names. So here this person ID will have first name and last name. Next table we have is the address table. In this address table, we have address ID, person ID, city and state. Here also they clearly mentioned that address ID is the primary key for this particular table, which means address ID column will not have any duplicates or it will not have any null values. Then each row of this table contains information about the city and state of one person with ID equal to person ID. Okay. So the question is that write a solution to report the first name, last name, city and state of each person in the person table. So clearly it is mentioned that for this particular person table, you have last name, first name. So also add city and state of each person. Okay, so we just wanted to make sure that the person table is the base table to this base table which already has first name and last name. Add city and state also. So that city and state is coming from the address table. So does all the persons have address in this table? No. We have person ID 1, person ID 2. But the address table, you have details of person ID 2 and 3 only. So for person ID 1, you don't have any values. So if you want to totally eliminate this, then you will use inner join. Because if there is no matching records, that record itself will be gone. But they are saying that if the person ID is not present in the address table, report null instead. It means that for the person ID 1, there is no address. In that case, what you will show? Null values. If you see here, Alan Wang. So this Alan Wang person, he has person ID 1, which is not in this table. That's the reason why we are giving null values. So Bob Alice is from New York City and New York. So here we have New York City and New York. So what I am going to do here is that take the first name, last name from the person table. To this table, on the right side, I will add city and state. Okay, so using which column? This person ID column, I will join with this person ID column in the address table. So person table, person ID, address table, person ID, I will join both of them and bring these two columns right beside this last name and first name. Okay, I am using left join because it clearly says that you have to report null whenever there is no match. If they are saying if there is no match, that record should itself not come, then you can use a inner join. Okay, so the code is like select. So first column that we need in the output is first name, then last name, then you need a city, state. So from which table we are taking? We are taking from person table, and I am giving an alias to the table as P. So I said we have to join the address table. So I am using left join address table. I am giving the alias as A. On what condition? P dot person ID equals to A dot person ID. So take this person ID, match it with this one, and then bring all the city and state. Okay, so usually sometimes what will happen, if you have the same column in both the tables, your SQL will confuse which column to take. In that case, you will put it as P dot first name, P dot last name, A dot city, A dot state, and so on. But in this case, we are not putting any of that because these all columns are unique in the tables. Okay, so that's the reason I'm not using any P dot, A dot like that. So if I run this code, Yeah, so you can see that person ID, last name, first name. This is the input table and this is the output table. It is matching exactly with the output table that we have. And after clicking this one, click on submit. Okay, so you can see that this is submitted and the code is correct. Okay, so that's it for this video. Follow more to solve more LeetCode problems.